What up out there, traders? How we doing? Who's ready to get into the action today? You guys know it, the TLT coming down a little bit, but we're hanging in there. So the question is, will we get ourselves a little bit of a run here towards the close? I think we all need to keep our eyes closely on that TLT. Let's get to the action. Let's take a look at what's moving out there right now. Of course, the TLT kind of running the show today as this came down off of that PPI report and has been pretty much trending down the whole time. We did get a move back above an important key level that I've talked about in the pre-market, the 88.80 area to 89. So that's an area that I'm looking to see if we can recover to stay strong. But today I definitely had to take some profits as we started to see a little bit of rotation again. So I'll talk a little bit about that coming up, and you guys will get an inside look on the exact swing trades that I have on today. So stick around, team. We got a lot for you guys right here. Start Swing Trade. Your boy Money Mitch getting after it. And let's take a look here. TLT trying to hang in there. As long as we don't break kind of the 9 EMA, it really isn't too negative. And I do have some trades even for downside. I even have the SQQQ. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. SPY up there to 450s, guys. I mean, at some point we are going to be turning around. And I think that the important thing is looking at like historical RSI. And I love to call this out when we're in moments of extreme. We were in moments of extreme from the downside. Now we're getting into the moments of extremes of being overbought. And I think this is a very important thing to catch. And I'm not saying that just because we're overbought, we're going to turn around. This is where a lot of traders will make the mistake, and I can't blame them for it. So what I'm saying here is that I look at historical RSI. What do I mean by that? And it's very specific, right? It's not necessarily something that I think that a lot of traders even talk about. This is something that I've kind of adapted to. So what do I mean? I'll take a look at any chart on the daily chart. And what do we want to be looking for? We want to be looking for when there's moments of extreme, whether it be on the top end on this purple line, where you see this kind of moving up and it looks like a kind of a life here, or on the bottom end. Either way, a lot of the times we're going to either come back down or go back off of that. Does it give you exact day? No, but it does give us that the tides are starting to turn. And this is what I use to go ahead and tell me that, hey, you might want to start lightening up, especially if I'm seeing so many stocks in that overbought territory. So let's get into the action. I'll tell you guys my swing trades. I'm going to bring down this screen. We'll go ahead and switch over to the trade the pool screen so you guys can see some of this swing trade action right here in front of you guys. So there you guys see it. SQQQ has been the way that I've been going about it, at least to date, of what? Give myself a little bit of a hedge. And you guys can see I'm pretty much not risking a single cent on this. I've been adding to this kind of all day, just trying to look to see what would happen. Let's go to like a 15-minute here so you guys can see that. And I added first in like the 1605s, and then it started moving up. I'm at 1611s right now with a small amount of share size, only about 50 shares. But as you guys can see, I paid myself pretty well today on a couple of names. So I paid myself on Ulta. I played myself on the XRT. I also paid myself a little bit later on XRT, getting completely out of the XRT. This was a 9% trade that I've been talking about right here on Start Swing Trade for a good while now. So not going to be mad at all as we got this one to go higher. And I got in this slightly below 59s, eventually getting towards 59.15s, but a kind of 10%. It was about like 9% overall, right? But not a bad gain at all. These are the types of gains that really expand my wins and give me that great equity curve that I'm looking for. So nice little way to ride that up towards the resistance. I could see it hitting that resistance today, the 65s, 64.50 area. So I started taking a lot of it off. Yes, I could ride this a little bit for a little bit more. But what I did was I said, I'm going to cover the XRT and take a look at my other winning positions more into the micro outlook and looking at Ulta as being one of the best moves right now. And I'm going to stay in this one. This one, I'm looking to take a little bit more profits into the 420 area. We'll see if we can get up there. But I got this just a couple days ago at 388.22, and we're up there to 415, a high today, all the way up there towards 417.16. So we'll look to see if Ulta can continue to run into the holidays, as I normally see this as a stock that, of course, gets that holiday lift, as, of course, the makeup gets bought up towards the holidays. I'm going to visit family, things like that, even holiday gifts, right? Maybe expensive kind of makeup that they want to go ahead and have. They're putting it on that shopping list. And you also got your fragrances. I've talked about how I even get my fragrance at Ulta. So you got to get your colognes. Hey, we'll see what happens. And you guys also see what? A stop loss in the green. So if this does pull back on me, I'm willing to get out and just make 50 bucks versus where I'm at right now. I'm up almost $80. So I'm giving myself the shot for this to keep going, because 50% retracement of this recent move, at least on the daily chart, came from above fives, right? So we'll see what happens. Maybe it's over here towards July, right? This 487. But if I take 50% of that, and it's back closer towards 430s and 440s. So we'll see what happens with this one. Not doing too bad at all on the Ulta swing. And like I said, I've already taken some profits on this one. And it just goes to show you, you don't need a million shares to make some money, guys. And this is looking good. Best Buy is another one that's looking really good as this continues. I'm going to look to start taking profits soon, right? Because the truth is that I do want to be in this for like kind of maybe a Black Friday rally, but I also don't want to give it the possibility of just coming right back down after a really nice gain. So 63.66 on Best Buy. And if we think about it in that perspective, we're already kind of up on the day about 9%. And right now, where we're sitting close to 8.5. So is that a good gain? Hell yeah, by all means necessary. If I could make a 3-day trade and make 8-9%, that's not bad at all on this swing. All right, let's keep going, guys. Riot is a new trade that I have on today. So let me know what you guys think about my Riot position as I added in on this position as it slowly kept stair-stepping higher. I see Coinbase kind of staying strong. That's up there to 99.50. Mara. And so I decided to take the shot today in Riot. I only got 30 shares. It's not an insane amount, right? It's a small position, but you'd be surprised what a small position can do, especially if we get a multi-dollar run here. We'll find out what happens, but taking a little bit of a shot there in Riot. And XLE has been an area that I've been talking about here, that I've been looking for a trade for a while. We even talked about it just yesterday. So if you guys are missing Start Swing Trade on the daily basis, actually Tuesday. It wasn't Tuesday. It was when did we talk about this specifically? We talked about this on Monday because I wasn't here yesterday. But we've been looking at this trend line here, and I've been pointing it out. I even pointed it out on live trading as we were getting up above the 85s. I wanted to take a shot, and I even had limits to add here. You guys can see the limit to add towards this kind of it's 85-70 level, but nice rejection already there on these oil names. And now I could see these continuing down. So I'm pretty ways away from this. I don't have an insane position, so it's not a big gain just yet, but it's a smaller position that can bring me some great profits. That's how I take a look into swing trading, right? If I lose very small. And if I win big. I love that mentality just within itself. All right, so time to catch up with you guys. I know I've been talking about my stocks, so I want to take a look at what you guys are taking a look at. What do you guys like? I see PayPal's mentioned in the chat. XRT swing was solid. Thank you, Gerard. And Boba, what are you guys taking a look at? MD out there? And if you're new to the show, say hello. I'm here for you guys, not here for myself. And of course, if you guys have trades to take a look at, throw them up. We'll get it going. All right, let's get into the sectors and the industry outlook. So I'm going to pull down my swing trades. If you guys want to talk a little bit about that, of course, drop in the chat. We can take a look at that towards the close. But let's get towards the stocks here. I'm going to go through the sectors and the industry outlooks. And if you guys have either or, a sector, an industry, and you guys see that I have RSI here, going to be a little bit stronger talk on RSI right now because I want to show you guys how you guys could be looking at historical RSI. All right, there's the XLE making another kind of push lower there towards the 84.59s, and doesn't look too bad to maybe take some shots there. I'm keeping an eye on the Qs here to see if we're going to get a quick dip here towards the close. We're already dipping here, and so that sets up for my SQQQ trade. I already have a break even stop. I will let this keep going throughout the week, throughout the overnight action. And then at some point tomorrow, look to take the profits, especially if we get some downside over the night, right? That's what I'll be mainly looking for, is some overnight pullback. And that could be a little bit of a hedge against some of my retail trades that I have on. If they start to pull back, at least the SQQQ can make me some money in the meantime. This is how I'm able to play an uncorrelated asset to the main positions that I have on today, and then use that as a kind of a hedge and a buffer if I start to lose some of these gains. It's good to see you out there, Edwin from Cincinnati. That's actually a city that I have yet to visit that I'd love to visit. So Cincinnati, something to definitely catch. And I think the Cincinnati Reds are going to be something next year. So shout out to you, Edwin. I don't know if you're a Reds fan, but they'll be something. Intel, something definitely to take a look at. Let's talk a little bit about that. That's definitely getting a lift. I'll go to the sectors in the industries in just a second, but big move there. 52-week high. I talked about it very early on on live trading this morning about how this one was really kind of making that lift. And we played it twice to 36 and 37. So I can't be mad about that. That I played it twice. Part of me is like, maybe you should have just held from the very beginning, but big rip up there to 40s, now closer towards 41s. Will this keep going? I mean, we are on the historically oversold, and I want to keep pointing to this to show you guys that and how you guys can be doing this yourself. So what I normally look is, there's no guarantees. There's no 100% way of doing this, but I'm looking to put a line where I feel there's only very few wicks that go past that. So in this case, it'd be close to the 86 spot, right? You can see we've only been above that a couple of times, right? It's not a lot of the times, but we have had extreme moments on this Intel where it pops above that 86 on the daily. And just recently, we popped above it. And what did we do just after that? You guys can see it right here on the chart. We pop, we come back down. We popped into it, we came back down. Now we're getting really close towards that level, not just yet at that level, but this tells me that it could be starting to slow down, Bradley. We'll see what happens there on Intel. So I'm going to keep doing the historical RSI reference, because that is definitely kind of the lesson to learn from today, and a little bit of education here on Start Swing Trade. All right, guys, like always, smash the like. We got a lot more for you guys here. We're going to keep going. And then up next, we got a great interview live from the cannabis in Brooklyn. The Dales Report team, Trade the Black, is going to be coming live from an interview in Brooklyn. So if you guys don't want to miss that, that's coming up next. Definitely stick around, team. We got a lot more for you guys right here, only on Benzinga, of course. And keep throwing up those tickers, because I'm going to catch them in the chat and we'll review them here. All right, let's keep moving here. Just setting up a little redirect and taking a look at the different stocks that are moving. Let's go to the Qs. Let's do sectors really quickly. So real estate is definitely the area where we've been seeing a quick bounce back. And why is this the one that we've been seeing it? Well, it's the most beaten down area as of late, right? And so that's going to help definitely get a nice little push there. Communication services getting a little bit of a bounce. Cyclicals getting a little bit of a bounce. And man, XLE is just on the flush down, guys. That's actually making me feel like an ad is necessary on that, but I'm not going to ruin my average. It's already keeps coming down here. Just wanted to point to it because that's a quick fall from Grace. And I'm up here, guys. I have an 85.58. The high of the day today, 85.67. Not too bad on that turnaround call. All right, let's keep going. So cyclical is definitely an area to look for, maybe some pullback finally to start coming in. KSS, just a big rip, guys. I was talking about this one when I was looking at my trade, and I talked about this one on Monday on PreMarket Prep as being a 50% retracement level to maybe look at to start getting the bounce. The 50% was right there around the 21.45, and we're right back up to the high. So we could start running into some resistance here for these department plays, but Macy's also doing a similar move. This is kind of more just trying to play the seasonality play, and that's what I was going after. Footwear and accessories, I'm going to you in the chat. I see you guys mentioned on. I'll take a look at it right here, and we could do that by calling out that we were looking to see if Nike could continue on the push. Nike has since Monday. It pulled back to 105. Can it take 110? That's one area that I'm definitely keeping a watch on. Deck, the strongest stock in footwear and accessories, does what? Just continues to lift, man. This thing is an absolute rocket, an absolute beast of a stock. So if you never thought about Deck, I would definitely start learning it because it's one of the strongest stocks in Wall Street today. I mean, take a look at the RSI now back to 92, and you can see it historically. It stays between around 75 and 32s. So definitely getting extreme, but a big move there for Deck from 500s where it was below the earnings all the way up to where it is now, up 31%, even on a $500 stock. On did have decent earnings coming back here at 27.88, was down, now right back up there to the 27.80s. So this doesn't look too bad. And I also talked about Crocs yesterday, and would that get the lift with those on mentions? And there you see it. It's right back there towards 90. Now the question is, can it hold the pullbacks to like 85? We'll see what happens here. I can see it going sideways for a little bit and then catching a little bit of love. All right, let's keep going. That's in footwear, accessories, luxury goods getting a little bit of a bounce there. Even Signet having a decent day. So that just goes to show us that I feel like this is more seasonality, right? Do I think that, luxury goods are going to do good next year? No, but does that matter for, let's say, a week or two right now, especially as we're going into Black Friday? No, that actually get the lift, right? So we'll see what happens on that. And no love for the C3 AI. I don't think I'll give it love, but it is a momentum name, and it has been pushing right back. Now the only question is, will it get to this trend line and fill the gap? It did fill the gap, I think, even today, and came right back down. Yeah, right to that level, right around that 3140s. Today we get a high of 3183s, and you're right back down. So you filled the gap there. Now the only question is, will you make the next step up? Next step up would be that move to this trend line, which is a move back towards 33. And then from there goes to 40. This is definitely not one that I like, but hey, to each his own. If you like this boba, get after it. You know what you're doing. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look there at different sectors. I can talk about cyclicals all day, but hey, you guys are not here for just one sector, right? Financial services, big rebound after late. Is this somewhere where I'm going to make big investments in? No, I still see big disaster coming in 2024 for these banks. But are they lifting as of late? Yeah, just look at JPM. I was talking about this yesterday, and it's continued. And you could continue to see some strengths in these banks, especially as they're playing catch up with the index, right? They're not taking the technology names higher right now. Specifically, they went into all the other sectors and started just picking and combing the ditches, looking for cheap stocks. Financial is definitely getting the lift with this move. So we'll see if it can continue moving. Defensive names pushing strong today, and I'll highlight discount stores. What a move there for Target. We were talking about this on live trading yesterday. I was like, man, it just seems like there's a good amount going into Target right now. And I feel like there was some what we call the undercut and rally type of trade. Whenever you see kind of volume spiking and it's coming down to support, I always look to see if we get this kind of reversal action, and look at Target today back to 130. Man, this would have been an amazing swing trade. Just even grabbing it yesterday. It was a little bit scary going into earnings, but today just continuing up there towards 130.70. Look at Walmart continuing. Costco now pulling back a little bit. Ooh, this DG is an interesting setup as it did rocket off the report from Target, but now right back down to 123. We'll see what happens on that. BJ is also one that I've been keeping a close eye on, but hasn't done too bad. BIG is also one that could even get a little bit of a lift. Nothing that I would take too serious here on BIG, but we'll keep an eye on it, team. All right, let's keep going. Financial services, I've talked about that. Defensives, I talked. Let's go to healthcare. You guys wanted to take a look at XLV. It's 359, so it's about to wrap up, at least on the swing trading action. For right now, I still have the SQQQ. XLV has made its way all the way back here towards this high. I'm going to continue to watch Pfizer. This is my favorite stock that I talked about today on live trading, that I could see this start to lift. Why? Big part in my eyes is I'm looking to see what happens there with some of these names, if we can continue pushing. Looks like, let me see if I got something sold there. Riot. Riot still in there. All right, perfect. All right, guys, we're closed here. We're at 4 p.m. You guys can still see the swing trade action. I'm still in some of these names, so I'm going to continue to watch to see what happens in the queues to see if we just keep kind of downtrending here. Because if we keep downtrending, I'm going to keep that SQQQ. I got to keep a close eye on that today. But you guys, like always, you guys want to keep up with us right here on Benzinga. Check us out tomorrow on PreMarket Prep. I could talk about sectors and industries all day long. So if you guys enjoy this, please let me know. I'm always willing to do a little bit more for Benzinga and a little bit more for you guys. Just got to go ahead and give me the comments after the show. Let me know what you guys want to see more of. I'm always here. And like always, I always like to work backwards from sectors to industries to the stocks. Like on healthcare today, what led, right? Well, I'd take a look at what was up from the open. Diagnostics and research stocks up from the open. Thermo Fisher bouncing back. DHR, names like that getting a little bit of a bounce back today. And medical devices. What was down? Healthcare plans and medical distribution names. Something to think about, right? We'll see what happens. A lot of positions on, guys. Look at all this, guys. It's a lot on there, guys. So 6 trades overnight. We'll see what happens, guys. Like always, the biggest thing and important on this is trying to do what? Cutting my losses quickly and riding the gains, of course. So definitely smash the like if you guys enjoy this outlook. And look at that. 6 trades on, 6 trades in the green, guys. Smash the like for that one. I mean, can't get no better than that. Let's just be honest. All right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow, like always, on PreMarket Prep. Up next, you guys have, you don't want to miss it, the live outlook here from Nicholas Vita, live from Brooklyn. Trade to Black podcast coming up next. The Dale's reports. They're going to get into the cannabis companies. So if you guys like a little bit of some cannabis investments, looking for emerging markets or an understanding into what's going on in the industry right now, don't go anywhere. Come over to the next show. I produce it, by the way. So that's another reason why you should maybe come over and maybe chat with me in the chat. If you guys like this area, we'll see you next time right here, of course, on Start Swing Trade. Coming up next is that interview, so don't go anywhere.